Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another magical moon message for the moon in Gemini. Shout out to the angels out here. And the sun in Virgo. This is really timed out well. For those of you who actually speak the language of astrology, read your affirmances, hit up actual real-time transit sites. My go-to is planetwatcher.com. Kirk Khan is a legend. Um, and shout out to him for making that. The magic of Virgo is timing. So Capricorn rules timing. It's like the power of timing. But like the magic of timing, that's Virgo. Of course, the quality and strength of timing is Taurus, but the magic of timing, how things happen in every single nitty gritty detail and moment to moment basis, we can go to Virgo for that. So you really want to pay attention to the transits because every second, minute, if you even think about how fascinating units of time are and how our brain can only process up to a certain amount, it's just very fascinating how for the moon in Gemini, it's like 2 degrees right now. The Mercury is 29 degrees, okay? The sun is 6 degrees Virgo. The North Node is 6 degrees Gemini. Mars is in the middle, grand Earth trining everything with Uranus and lightly with Pluto. And the dance and sequence of these planets and energies represented by these orbs and luminaries are just so literally magical, but like so revealing when you take that into account with this integration that's happening and with the shit show. The shit that's happening out in the collective. It just gives you so much more of a honest understanding of what's possible, but really what we're headed into. If you think of a revolving door, this is the third quarter square that is occurring for Virgo. We started off with a dirty full moon, third quarter square. We have a new moon, then the first quarter square, then the actual full moon. So this is just very, the actual full moon, which will lead us to Libra season, by the way, because the full moon is going to be at 28 degrees, full mastery. So once again, this is just set to be not only super magical, but if you think of a revolving door, given the mutable sign energy of what we're coming into, the full moon in Aquarius and lightly in Pisces have harvested from moon in Pisces, Aries, Taurus, and now Gemini, the quality of this transit, of the full moon, of the knowledge of your glow and heart and courage that you have not only completed but have harvested in greater confidence to apply to the change of your real perspective. And given the mutable sign nature of the magic of your real perspective changing in Virgo and your mind and your thoughts changing in Gemini, this transit is going to change your entire world. It's going to change your entire reality. In a few short days, you're going to be receptive to new insight, information, and truth that will get desperately spun by the Neptune square. So it's like information will come out and then media outlets will spin it, be like, this is why you shouldn't believe in that. This is why you got to look at it different. Because you're going to have, of course, a response to outlets who want to control desperately the narrative. Still, critical thinking on your part will not have you fall for such deceptive rhetoric. You're going to be receptive to so much truth, information, and relevant thoughts that will change forever with this alignment to the North Node of Destiny, the real perspectives, and your perception of reality. This is actually one of the most important transits of the whole season, and we can't sleep on the moon in Sag, so everything that's starting now will kind of complete when the moon goes over the South Node in Sagittarius. There's a lot that I need to say here. In terms of actual magic at a supernatural level, this is going to bump everything up. Many of you who've been going through this journey have experienced supernatural phenomena, which is doubling over rapidly, which is, of course, an expression of your minds neural pathways, synapses, neurons, and ability to actually ground this in your body, being able to process more of this phenomena instead of just, getting confused in how it works. Case, for example, one of the most classic ones is where you might be listening to music and you're walking down the street and you hear a word in the music and then you see it on a sign. You don't see a sign, like you literally see it on a sign. Or someone says something driving by a car and then you immediately see the word, or you have a similar experience that links this inner and outer energy, supernatural, because of course the odds and coincidence with which this can happen over and over, well, it's not natural, it's supernatural. So these are just synchronicities to push you forward. Signs, as we call them. When you go on the highway and you see a sign, it lets you know, hey, you're on the right path, keep moving forward. You don't start to scrutinize the sign and be like, what does it mean? You just keep moving, yo. So other than that, this is going to change fundamentally how much more supernatural quality of experience you integrate into your perception, as Taurus was once again a launch pad for the next level of developing and manifesting supernatural mastery. Well, welcome to true mastery. True mastery is mastery that is timeless. True mastery is a completion of techniques and skills that not only last the test of time, but enable you to harness your true self. And you're able to apply this mastery in every and any situation. So over the next couple days, you're going to step fully into and facilitate true mastery. This, once again, is a harvest of coming into a greater understanding of how powerfully you have brought the energy you've glowed up through Leo season and are applying it into your reality. Okay, Mercury, that's going to enter Libra over the next couple of days, will immediately apply into your social environment the mastery of your brain's ability to process analytically all this supernatural energy and power you're integrating. You have to remember that a lot of what you're experiencing, even though there's nothing new under the sun, is still new to you. And so you're coming into a greater expression of how to integrate all of this, while with the alignment of the moon to the north node, you are intertwining the thoughts you're having with where you're meant to be, and most importantly, what is meant to happen. So this is going to bring initial clashes regarding how you take this information that's coming into form and now change how you know what's real. For example, you may have had 4 cups. This quarter square, right, in Gemini is giving you new information. Hey, someone came into the room and now they added 2 more cups. That's what a square is for. A 90-degree aspect in astrology now forces a situation to either change, strengthen, or empower based on 2 elements of the same state bringing in influences that have to now change it. So you analyzed beforehand. Remember, the only thing constant in life is change. You analyzed beforehand that you had 4 cups. Now there's new information as we're coming around. And so now I have the square from Gemini to Virgo. Now I have to adjust what was factual before in light of a change of the situation. Now your homie bought 2 more cups. Now you don't have 4 cups, you have 6 cups. That's what this transit is like. It doesn't have to be so frustrating, but you have to be willing to adjust what was real before with now new information that you now don't suddenly just, cancel the old information. You integrate, you add on to. This is so very important. You're going to be receptive to a divine truth of your real abilities. This is going to really circumvent how much more difficult it may have been for you to understand more advanced principles. Now that the moon is going to be trining Jupiter and Saturn retrograde, this is going to help you understand more truthfully with the light of enlightenment or the understanding of enlightenment, not only how to integrate this advanced knowledge, but how to understand it at a personal level with which you can actually functionally think about it. So I wanted to get that all out the way because the Sun North Node Square, or the T square with the nodes, is very important. Where you're going to understand socially, there's protocol, there's all sorts of opinions about what you should be as an individual, or what's acceptable, or what's right, or what makes other people feel good. And then there's the truth that all those people can suck your dick, and none of that matters. All those people can suck your dick. All those people can suck your dick, and you can do what makes you feel happy, what you like to do, and that's no one else's business but yours. It's a fascinating realization, the fact that other people can suck your dick right now. But other than that, move forward with and champion that. And what's very, very, very important, so very, 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 very important, is that Mercury will also very quickly, lightly trine the moon in Gemini, which will already start to have you process who in your social environment you can apply and connect and bridge all of this mastery of technique with. Mercury crossing over 29 degrees of the sign it's both an exaltation and dignity in, huge deal, huge deal, huge deal, huge deal, huge deal. It's going to start to be in the same sign as Venus, where you're going to actually start to communicate and connect mentally who you're actually establishing relationships with. Some of you are also in the process of harnessing archetypal connections you have with people, but letting those people go in favor for newer and better. There's always newer and better than what you have. I know you may feel that, oh, what you have is the best and you can't lose it, but you can always sacrifice to let it go for something greater. You can always do it. You can always do that. You can always do that. You can always do that. You're called to do that. So please keep that in mind, because this isn't about sacrificing unnecessarily as much as this is about really coming into a much more truthful understanding of the level of mastery that you're coming into. As I'm recording this, I'm seeing two people practice skateboarding. A man and his younger brother. This is literally the application of what I'm talking about. They're having to practice over and over. They may fall down and scrape, but they're coming into greater mastery of the ability and skill to skateboard, which is very, very symbolic, very, very amazing. I love how this works, how I can talk about this transit and have a literal example play out in front of me. You're going to notice this magical essence. But the reason why this is so very important is now I've covered how this is an integration of true mastery into your life. The most important part of this, though, with the unlocking of the nodes, now that the North Node is in the first decan, it's not just that it's in the first decan, it's gone through 23 degrees or 24 degrees of Gemini. This is going to activate within your conscious ability to understand how to change your thoughts. The reason why your life is going to change is now that we've manifested real mastery in your body to harness this ability more. You're now going to be enlightened to a change of how to think to change your reality. You're going to be applying now newly developed skills in order to master techniques that will help you understand the truth of it in ways that you didn't before, because you may have been blocked with old ways of thinking or behaving. So be very mindful, because in a few short couple days, your environment and everything around that constitutes how you think, take in information, and express it is all changing. Literally, by the time the moon is in Cancer and with the 11th house transit, where everything comes full circle and we manifest the results of this career element, this is going to realistically open up very, 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 very powerfully how you apply this superpowers and abilities to who you feel belongs into your life. But right now, Gemini is 10th house to this sun in Virgo. And so this is going to bring great change in the career direction or thoughts around where you're taking this element of your legacy, and also how you're manifesting more strength in the face of those who are intimidated by your greatness, and realize that under no circumstance can they use peer pressure or deceptive rhetoric to control you. This is going to really bring out true colors, okay? Let people be mad, to be honest. The moon's going to square Neptune, and this is going to expose so easily who's just a lion ass bitch And who doesn't need that presence in your life anymore because they're lying ass retards? You're gonna catch so many people in lies, little white lies, big lies, and use that Virgo sun to pull receipts and just call them out. We don't need to drag this along and play dumb. So keep that in mind. True mastery. This is going to, it's not the beginning because that was the Aries moon. Taurus moon was the foundation. This is where things get fun. From now to the new moon, you're literally stepping into a new reality. And this moon in Gemini is going to begin this extraordinary change, and you deserve it. You're going to actually express supernatural abilities in new ways that'll change how you think about it. Godspeed. Peace.